Welcome to the Elevate podcast. I'm your host, Patricia Nowakowski, and I am so excited to get started on today's topic. Welcome to Thought Leader Thursday. This is where we come together to break outdated business practices and to start thinking differently about how we salon. Let's transform salon business one mindset shift at a time. Join me every single Thursday to chat about small shifts you can make to transform your business by changing your mindset and by thinking differently. So today we're going to talk all about pricing, your extension services, and I think this is one thing that a lot of salons and even stylists do incorrectly. And when it comes to your business, only you know what's best, and the same goes for how you're pricing your services. But when it comes to extensions, there really is a standard that should be set for this service because it is a higher end service and the clients are a little bit more expecting a higher end experience. And when you're offering something like that, the pricing should be set appropriately. My rule is if you're not going to price your extensions properly, if you're going to undercharge, then you shouldn't be doing them because it really does devalue and set a low standard for our entire industry. So I'm going to go over some of the different types of pricing and I'm going to tell you which one is my favorite. And you need to know there's no wrong way to price your extensions, but you should really consider what's best for your business. Whatever method you choose needs to make sense to your guests, and you need to be able to explain it clearly so it's understood. And additionally, your method should be generating profit. And if it isn't, then you need to move into a different pricing method. So the three types of pricing options that I really will just kind of talk about today and that I choose to really kind of, really think that are the best options is bundled pricing. There is a la carte pricing, and then there's hourly pricing. And I'm going to go over all three of them and go over the pros and cons so you can get an idea of what you would like for your business. Now, I always want to touch base on extension hair. So remember, extension hair is a retail item, and you should be charging it as a retail item. This is so important because if you are not upcharging your hair, you are undercharging. And there's a couple reasons why you really want to make sure that you are treating hair like a retail item. And the most important thing is that it protects your business. So, bad batches of hair happen all of the time. If you are not charging 50 to 100% over market price for your hair, then that means that if there is a bad batch of hair that you cannot get a refund on, or it takes a while for the manufacturer to test it because that happens all of the time, then that means you have to replace that client's hair out of your pocket. If you are treating retail as an item, as a retail item, then when you get a bad batch of hair, that hair is covered. I like to think of it as an insurance policy. And when you are having to do redos or something goes wrong, having that extra money in the bank to cover your expenses is so important. Okay, so let's dive into the three different methods of pricing, and we're going to start with bundled pricing. So bundled pricing includes all of the services you provide in one package. And to make bundled pricing successful in your salon, you need to ensure an amazing experience from start to finish, and you really need to make sure you understand your costs of business. So you need to understand your price for color, you need to understand the price for hair, you need to understand the price for all of the things that are implemented during that service, because bundled pricing includes everything. No matter what the client is getting, it's the same price. No matter what color service they're getting, no matter what highlight they're getting, bundled pricing is one price. That's it. So the pros. You can control the cost of the service somewhat. Clients can't opt out of services they don't need or don't want to cut costs. And you can easily gauge your profits if you know your numbers. And knowing your numbers is really important. The cons is that your client may want the works every single time they come in, even though they don't need it, because they feel it's going to be the same price no matter what. You may need more hair on some people, which can lessen your profit, and you may find yourself using more products or color on some people versus others, and it's going to be harder to create a breakdown for the clients, and it's hard for them to understand what they're paying for, which I have found to be very confusing and very deterring for clients because they want to know what is the service and what are they paying for. And with bundled pricing, it doesn't break it down for them, so it really is not transparent. Next, we're going to roll into a la carte pricing, and these prices are priced service by service and piece by piece. This means the hair cost, the color cost, treatments, and any other services provided during that client experience is charged a separate charge. And a la carte pricing allows for flexibility and gives the client control to actually kind of have a say in what services they're being provided. So the pros of a la carte pricing is it's easy to explain to clients and it makes sense to clients. Totally makes sense. Clients have more control over the price of service, which can make it appear more accessible and affordable for them. You can control your overhead costs, such as products and hair, because you're charging per piece. And you can upcharge for every service, including color, hair, refreshing hair, cutting rows apart, treatments, etc. The cons is clients can try to control the price of the service, which makes it more accessible and affordable. So clients can opt out of things and not want to pay for things. And income can be harder to predict because clients can opt out of things at their service if they don't want to pay for it. Another thing is with a la carte pricing, clients can experience sticker shock, which I might say is not a pleasant experience. You really have to make sure you go over all of the cost with your clients when they're in your chair so they don't get up to the front and they're paying twice as much as they thought they were because you added on the treatments, the Olaplex, the toners, and all the things. So our last pricing structure is hourly pricing, and this is what we do inside of my salon. And the reason why I love hourly pricing is because it controls the cost, because if you're doing more, you're adding more time, and it allows you to truly be the artist because you can do all of the things in that time frame that you are actually utilizing for the client's service. So when utilizing hourly pricing, you charge clients the cost of the hair plus the services are charged by an hour. So we charge for the cost of the hair, and we treat hair as a retail item. So there is a markup on the hair. We charge $110 per piece, and then we charge per hour. So there's a 2-hour service, a 3-hour service, a 4-hour service, and a 5-hour service. This form of pricing is really becoming increasingly popular in our industry, and it really does allow you to create a custom experience for each guest in the time frame that they choose. So with extensions, it's a little bit differently because clients can't really choose the amount of time. Obviously, if they want 1 row, 2 row, 3 row, there is a standard time setting with that. But of course, you're going to add on time for color and any other things that you're doing. So the pros of hourly pricing is that it is very easily explained. It does not, and it includes gratuity, so it does not, so the client doesn't have to pay on top of what they're paying when they come in. So hourly pricing is a flat rate. They are paying for exactly what the cost is. So if you charge, for example, $150 an hour and they're there for 2 hours, it's $300. And that is it. And I love that. So clients can really budget and plan. You can give more attention to your guest because the time is blacked out specifically for them. We do not double book. Income is way easier to track and predict. And scheduling is easier because you're blocking out chunks of time instead of trying to put puzzle pieces together and fit all the services in where you have gaps. So the cons are when your speed increases, your profit decreases, which means that you have to do a price increase. I don't think that's that big of a con, but it can be for some if they don't have the mindset around how to properly raise their prices. There's no room for upselling, and that's totally fine. Again, if you're charging what you want and you are charging appropriately for your services, you will not feel that's necessary. You can't double book. so that leaves less time for additional clients. And product costs do vary from client to clients. So you really need to make sure, again, if you are adding on services, that you're adding on time and you're charging for that time.